Hi there, this is Ernie and Hi. Once again, we invite you to join us on a spectacular journey to this island of ice called Greenland. Although there is nothing green about it, it is the largest island nation on Earth that is totally covered by ice by 80%. You would therefore think that this place is uninhabitable, but in fact, there are about 56,000 inhabitants as of the last census of 2018, which makes it the least densely populated country by only 0.1 person per square miles, mostly by indigenous Inuit people by 88%. After a 7-hour flight from Seattle to Reykjavik, Iceland, we took another 3 hours flight to Ilulissat, Greenland. We are now flying over the Ilulissat and Disko Bay, the capital of icebergs. Down below, note that the bay is blanketed by a sea of icebergs. This is now the month of June and is summertime here. Note the landscape below of a rugged terrain of bedrock with no trees at all. There's no network of roads in Greenland that connects the towns. Transportation is by boat along the coastline, sled dogs on the ground in wintertime, but now mostly by air transport. We are now landing at the Ilulissat Airport, built in 1983. The airport is only 2.8 kilometers or 1.7 miles from the city. We were picked up and driven by no other than the hotel manager and owner of our hotel, the Havana. Note the rugged terrain but ruggedly beautiful landscape. This is what you will see most in Greenland. But this rough terrain is smoothed out by snow during winter, facilitating land transport with sled dogs, which in Ilulissat seem to outnumber the inhabitants. Ilulissat means icebergs in the native Inuit language. It is an Arctic town being 350 kilometers north of the polar or Arctic Circle. It has a picturesque harbor with a busy fishing port dotted with colorful houses overlooking the Disko Bay, which is crowded with immense amount of icebergs, so that this place as a whole has been dubbed the icebergs capital of the world, which we will show you in a while. But first, let us show you what's around town. Fishing is the major industry here, but in recent years, tourism now seems to be getting to be number one as their economy and infrastructure improves and air transport becoming more available. It is still an unbeaten path, however, but it is just a matter of time until it will be deluged by tourists, as you cannot deny its stunning scenery of natural beauty to travel adventurers. It is interesting to know that some 70 years ago, the Greenlanders were still living in these pit houses during the winter. In the summer, they live in tents. They are nomadic people and move their camp to follow the game for their subsistence of seal, trout, birds, caribou, whale, musk, oxen, and others. They travel by sled dogs during winter. This is the house of Knud Rasmussen, now a museum. He was born in Ilulissat and became a pioneer and noted explorer of the Arctic, and was the first man to cross the inland passage with sled dogs. Ilulissat was founded in 1741 by Jacob Zeveren, a Danish missionary and fur trader who established a trading post. The town was named after him, but now it has changed to Ilulissat, a native name meaning icebergs, in keeping with their program of emphasizing and promoting their native culture. Let us hike 2 kilometers south to the old settlement of Sermermuet, up the hill to the Nakavik vantage point to get a spectacular view of the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Ice Fjord. The first leg of the hike is on wooden platform or footbridge because the land is permafrost, which is wet and soggy. After that is an uphill climb on a rocky, rough terrain.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us.
Well, here we are at the Nakavik vantage point, where the viewing of the ice fjord is certainly spectacular. This fjord is totally covered by massive icebergs, making for a dramatic, awe-inspiring natural phenomenon. This mass of icebergs comes from the calving of the Ilulissat Glacier, also called Sarmekhuyalit, which is an outlet glacier of the inland ice sheet or ice cap. It has the highest icebergs production in Greenland and is massive and fast-moving glacier, calving and dropping huge icebergs into the narrow fjord, producing up to 86 million tons of ice a day, making their way to the Disko Bay and then to the Atlantic Ocean.
Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus. I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. Oh, clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my
Ah, you good. Nice, different.
Thank you. Disko Bay is the iceberg's capital of the world.
This is this one. This is the Rifosa. Yeah. So we don't know this one, how old it is.
Wow, the amount of icebergs is just mesmerizing. Nowhere else seen in the world. Icebergs of all sizes, shapes. This is an unforgettable experience. It is an enchanting and spellbinding surroundings as we sail and venture out into the vast sea of Disko Bay. The icebergs are so immense that some of them are up to 1 kilometer high, floating down the fjord.
Don't fall in the hole.
And you go back to home, you can start learning active.
The first day, so I can lazy today. And I bought
ini kan berhenti banyak orang tak tahu. Also, where's the forest? So right now we have a lot of water, some ice. So the whales is outside of the ice.
Disko Bay is certainly looking like a frozen city. It's just a mind-blowing scenery. A stunning, majestic, sheer beauty of a place. Don't you agree?
Eki Glacier Lodge, and they have
Limanak is one of the smallest and oldest settlements founded in 1741 as a fishing port. It is known for its halibut catch, which is what we are having for lunch. In spite of their good fishing industry with fish processing plant and factory, the population has dwindled down from 98 residents in 2005 down to 57 residents in 2018. Just like Ilulissat, they have built a seafront ecolodges and cabin to attract tourism, where there's a lot of experience opportunities for travel adventurers, especially if you enjoy Arctic wonders. It has a breathtaking view of the Disko Bay. A visit to this village gave us a chance to observe life in a small Greenlandic settlement. Greenlandic sled dogs was introduced to Greenland over 1,000 years ago by the Thule tribes, ancestors of the current Greenlandic Inuit people. These sled dogs are related to the wolf, a husky-type dog that likes to run. They have adapted to the Arctic weather through the years. They are genetically related to the Canadian Eskimo dogs. They are not treated as pets. They are trained to work and pull sleds, the only means of land transport in wintertime that lasts 8 months, from October to May.
When summer is over, we fall in love. As long as we dance, we will fall. When summer is over.
Seeing and observing these magnificent, great, gentle creatures of the sea at close range right before your eyes is a personal encounter of an unforgettable experience. We were virtually following and chasing them the whole time, and to hear them exhale and blow the water to the surface is just an overwhelming experience. As the golden glow of sunset starts to fade beyond the horizon of Disko Bay, we bid you goodbye and hope that you have enjoyed this amazing journey in this land of ice.